The purpose of this video is to discuss the bulk mail packaging inside of a Gaylord and the hazards associated with it. This is a real common situation out there. Companies will take a Gaylord and they'll put packaging, bulk mail, all different types of products inside this Gaylord, and they're going to want to ship that out. But there's several issues with that. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the concept of how do you attach this Gaylord to the skid. If you don't attach it to the skid, in a truck, that can shift and cause damage. The second issue that we have to take care of is what do you do to keep it from bulging out? A lot of times companies will use a rubber band, they'll use strapping to try to keep this in place so it doesn't bulge out right here. The last issue that we're going to try to talk about is the covering. How do I seal this in the most cost-effective manner? Again, some companies will tape it, some will use poly strapping. Those are all things that are costly and ineffective and inefficient. So what we're going to do is show how the brand new EasyBac dispenser can take care of all these issues. The nice thing about the EasyBac is it weighs 1.5 pounds, so it's extremely easy to work with. You're also going to see how versatile it is and how it can handle all three issues associated with this type of packaging. The first concept that I'm going to focus on is the skid. It's really important to attach the Gaylord to the skid, so like I said, when it ships, it's not going to shift and you won't have any damages. So what we're going to do, instead of using poly strapping or some other means to try to lock it down to the pallet, we're going to take the EasyBac dispenser. What we're going to do, as you see, I can adjust the tension. I'm going to go around about 3 times, and with the EasyBac, I'll be able to get about 1.5 inches off the ground, thus having the pallet be connected to the Gaylord. And it's going to look something like this. I'm going to use my legs, I'm going to stick my chest out, so I'm going to reduce the risk of a back injury. There will be no stress on my lower back whatsoever, and it's going to look something like this. Okay, as you can see, I was able to get that far down on the pallet. So in this case, the stretch film is covering the pallet and the Gaylord. That skid is not going anywhere. The next issue that we're going to have with this type of packaging is how do I keep this from bulging out? A lot of companies will take a giant rubber band and they'll put it right here. They'll take strapping and try to hold it down this way. Again, those things are really expensive, they're time consuming, and they're inefficient. What we'll do in this case is we'll now take the EasyBac, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the EasyBac, hold it in my front hand, and then I'm going to turn it sideways, and I'm literally going to make a rubber band with it. And what it'll look like this. I'm going to go around, and make a rubber band. Now, in this case, I can do it, there's one rubber band. If I want to go around twice, I just do it again. Now, in this case, to solidify it, then what I'll do is I'll increase my tension, and then I will just go around with regular film, even just once, like this. And then I've locked that in place. So now you can see, the only way to get rid of this will literally be to take a knife and cut it off. This is rock solid, it'll prevent it from bulging out. You'll have zero claims in that regard. The final issue that we have is how to cover this. Now a lot of companies, again, will use strapping, they'll use tape. It's very time consuming and it doesn't always work real well. In this case with the EasyBac, I'll create a pattern where I can go over the top and really lock it down so it won't move. It's going to look something like this. I'll first go around once just to solidify the cover. Now once I've done that, I'm going to go in a pattern like this. And then you break it off. All 4 sides are closed up. Everything's being pushed toward the middle. This cover's not going anywhere. That's the solution and the best way that we can think of to do bulk mail packaging in a Gaylord. We're able to lock in the pallet so it's not going to shift. We're able to create a rubber band and really lock this down so it's not going to bulge out. And we're able to cover it in an effective manner where your product is going to be protected. Thanks for the interest in the EasyBack.